Oh, I've never been happier to bring an urgent live stream to my viewers because we got an hour before the UFC, and I figured that everybody's looking for some entertainment. And what is more entertaining than giving credit where credit is due to the single greatest troll in modern history? And if you think that's an exaggeration, it's not. It's not. It's not. And I have never been more excited to talk a story with my viewers than I am about this one. So we're going to talk about that. The greatest troll of all time. There is no conversation about this now. And the thing is, I predicted this. I have the receipts. Matter of fact, I will show you the receipts too. Because, dude, oh my God, I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. What's up, guys? What is up, guys? So how many of you guys, when you saw this story, right? School defends gender rights of trans teacher with a giant prosthetic boobs, right? Like this person. How many people said to themselves, wow, this is super messed up? Malcolm, email it to me, my friend. Oh, yeah. I'm sure I got it if you emailed me. I'll double check, though. So how many people, when you saw that, thought to yourselves, wow, this is a really demented individual? Like, what is this? Right? Like, what exactly is this? And how is this okay? Because generally, that is what I heard from everybody, right? Like, I heard that from everybody. And I was like, and I found out one detail about this story. And I was like, it's a troll, dude. It's a troll. Rod Kane, I got your sheath one. And let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I got Rod Kane, if that's the one. I'll look closer when I'm off. So anyway, I saw that, and because we live in clown world now, I think it was fair for people to assume that this was just just another lunatic, just another lunatic. It's like, how is this any different than a 6'5" dude who's like, you know what? While I am still a heterosexual man, I am starting to feel very woman-like. And so now my name's Leah. I'm going to go ahead and just be in the ladies' locker room, and I'm going to be swimming against the girls and smashing them into the ground. And lots of people will say that this is totally fine. Like, this is totally fine. So in the same world as that, when you see this, you're like, yeah, this makes sense. This is Canada. Canada is a bunch of lunatics, like this is what passes as okay. And as you can see, school defends the gender rights of trans teacher with giant prosthetic breasts. Okay. The Canadian School Board is standing behind a trans teacher who sparked protests after turning up to classes with clownish giant prosthetic breasts. The blonde high school teacher, bottom line, even though they're getting significant attention online, they defended this person's right as this is their gender rights, man. They defended. Now, like I said, initially, I was like, this is a crazy person. Then I found out one thing. And I was like, oh, this is a troll. And what it was I was like, what subject does this person teach? And it was like shop class. And I was like, shop class? Oh, now I don't know if this is, if you guys are international, but in the United States, shop class is carpentry. Okay. It's a class that you actually enjoy taking in high school because you learn how to like bandsaw wood. put together. You build stuff. Okay. You build stuff. And I thought to myself, I was like, I mean, I don't want to like live in the world of stereotypes, but generally men who work with their hands don't find themselves super aligned to hyper woke ideology. This guy's a shop teacher. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen. What are the odds that this person is doing this to make a statement and troll the world versus he's actually this insane? And so I started telling people, I'm like, I think he's trolling, dude. I think this dude is trolling. And so this week turns out that this dude, well, look at this. So this guy is, so this is him, but this is how he dresses when he's, oh, oops. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen. So this is him in school. Hi. Oh, yes. I am, just totally, I love this. I love this. But this is how he dresses when he's not in school. And, okay, this is the real guy. And get this, dude. This dude had been threatened to be disciplined or fired at the school previous to this because he had railed publicly with kids in the class against gender neutral bathrooms. And then, and had given, they said that he had been cited for toxic masculinity. So this guy had gotten in trouble for toxic masculinity and for railing against gender neutral bathrooms. And I could talk about that in a second. And so his response to being on the chopping block to get fired was to become this person. And suddenly, oh, he's not losing his job. They're defending him. They're defending him. It's the greatest troll of all time. In the history of trolls, greatest troll of all time, ever. And it's like, it's so brilliant, dude. It's so brilliant. I was like, I was on my, I went and watched some of my teammates in a jiu-jitsu tournament earlier, and I was driving, just me and Giselle, and I was laughing about the story, and I was talking about it with Giselle, and she was like, she's all, so why did he do it? I was like, because the laws in Canada that are so ludicrous trapped them to where they had to defend him, even though they knew for 100% sure he is putting on a clown show. Like the people who are like going to discipline him before, they knew exactly why he was doing it. And they still had to publicly defend a person who made themselves look like that. And Giselle, I swear to God, Giselle goes, so he's a genius. I was like, exactly. He's a genius. And she goes, is that what you would have done, Daddy? And I was like, I don't have the balls to do that, dude. Like, I don't have the balls to do that. And I mean that as like the most, like, I don't, what's the right way to say this? I don't think I take myself like that seriously, but I take myself too seriously to be able to even function like that. Like if I put that on, I would look in the mirror, I would feel so uncomfortable. Like, God, I can't do it, dude. I can't do it. Like he has way bigger balls than me. And it's brilliant, dude. Now, and here's the other thing. I said when all the Leah Thomas stuff was going on, Leah Thomas, the 6'5" boy who just decided like, actually, I'm a girl and was beating all the girls. I said a million times, I was like, dude, if you wanted to prove a point about how ludicrous all this stuff is, this would be the best way to do it. Like, just get LeBron James in the WNBA and just let him and have him just, he just puts on a little wig. He's all, I'm LeBron-y. I'm, LeBronia. What? Whatever. The female version of LeBron, whatever that is. And just smash the girls into the pavement, dude. Just smash them into the pavement. And then afterwards be like, yeah, you guys, and then like let everyone defend him. And then he comes out, he's like, you guys seriously defended that? Like, are you serious? How could you have defended that? What's wrong with you? And just expose how ludicrous it is. And, like that's why I said, I was like, the Leah Thomas thing looks like that to me. But the Leah Thomas thing was serious, and we'll talk about that in a second. But this dude was doing exactly that. This is LeBron James playing in the WNBA for the school version. Like how ludicrous are the teacher situation? This is that. This is LeBron James dunking on females all day long and making them defend him. It's like, it's the best thing ever, dude. Emmanuel, what's up, my dude? Are you fighting soon? You have a fight coming up? Thank you for the super chat. Very much, good sir. Andrew Tate, you dude, messaging from prison. What's up, Tate? We're good, man. We're good. But anyway, so single greatest troll of all time. Single greatest troll of all time, dude. It's the best thing ever. Oh, man, I can't wait to watch Nicky Rod tonight against Pena, and I'll watch some UFC. And then I already bought Jake Paul and Tommy Fury, dude. I literally just bought it right now. I am going to just say this right now. I am excited for that fight, dude. I am very excited about that fight now, actually. I have no shame in that. And I actually had two people text message me this morning. My buddy Jojo from Austin, runs a Brazilian top team here. He texted me. He's like, dude, I'm kind of low key excited for Tommy Fury against Jake Paul. I was like, me too. I'm like legit excited. Cause this is serious. They're like, you know how Chael always says like, but why, why are they fighting? What's the point? Or like, what happens next? And like, in some cases, I think it's, sometimes I don't think his point makes a lot of sense because you're just like, well, it's because it's entertaining and people would love to see them fight. Doesn't always need to be like a big structure to it. But this one has a huge why, dude. This one has a huge why. It's Jake Paul's first real professional boxer. He's fighting against a Fury, and the Furies are not regular folks, dude. Like people think like, oh, he's a Fury, whatever. They're gypsies. Like fighting is all they know. Like losing a fight to Jake Paul would be a huge deal in the Fury family. It's a big deal, dude. Jake Paul will get ranked in the WBC if he wins this fight. Fact. So it's going to be good, man. It is going to be good. I do that. You want to know why? You want to know why I do it? So that when they see it, so that they see me talk about it, and they're like, oh, that was me. It's like, yeah, that's why I called him out. So like, hey, he claimed it on the channel. So, but yeah, dude. So I'm really excited about that fight. I already bought it, $49.99. And the fact that it's on ESPN Plus is awesome. That's great. I like infrastructure that I know how to use. And yeah. Listen, if Fury wins, I mean, dude, big props to him. There's so much pressure on him, man. And people are like, oh, he's only fought bums. Okay, well, Jake Paul, in terms of pro boxers, Jake Paul, same story. I mean, Anderson Silva is Anderson Silva, but he's 50, So it's a big step up for both of them, man. Big step up. Now, I also saw, I kind of want to save this for a video. Like I can make a whole video after this topic I was just about to talk about. So maybe I'll save it. I will. I'm going to save it. Let's talk more about Canadians getting trolled, the world getting trolled by this teacher. Do you understand how many people defended this person? It's indefensible. And yet, there you go. Dude. Dude, Melissa, you want to know why? Did I tell you? I think I said this on my live stream last night. You know why? It's like so ridiculous, dude. All these people kept saying that to me. They're like, dude, your arms look ridiculous. And I'm like, really? And in my mind, I just kept thinking, I was like, I mean, all I do is jujitsu. Maybe like just because I've been training so consistently for, however much time, like maybe I've like eclipsed the time that, because I would always like go through workout phases, very kind of like I would go constantly for a few months, and then I'd take like a month or two off, and then I would go back and just go absolutely constantly. And maybe since I've been training consistently for 2 years, I'm like, maybe I just hit some new kind of like growth spurt or something in my muscles. And then Turned out that in Gabrielle's new drink, the Perks, which is the bomb, there's creatine in it. I had no idea. So I've been, I added creatine into my supplement intake without having, I just didn't even know. Didn't even know. Creatine makes you big, dude. Creatine makes you big. Dude, I am so happy about this, dude. It's like, because the whole thing is, here's the only reason that it's like, that maybe it's not like as good as it seems, is the way that anyone should interpret that, if they are people who defended them, is like, wow, we're idiots, right? Like, we're such morons that we actually defended this. But the way that they'll interpret it is, wow, what a disgusting bigot. You're like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't win with these people. It feels like you honestly can't win, because they should have to eat shit on this, you know? Like, they should have to eat shit. And we're like, okay, yeah, we are really like ridiculous. You know, this guy just exposed how ridiculous we are. And they won't see it like that. They'll just be like, wow, you know what he's doing? He's risking the lives of trans youth. There will be trans youth that are killed because of this man. It's disgusting. You're like, really? There will? Who? What trans youth is going to get killed because of that dude? They wish that they want to take our right to exist away. Who does? Who wants to take your right to exist away? You refuse to call me by my new name. What? No, I don't. You won't call me by pronouns. I mean, I'm just saying I'm probably not going to remember. You're not that important, you know? Like, I can barely remember people's names that are like in my life, you know? It takes me, like, if someone joins my gym, it takes me rolling with them like 6 times before I remember their name. And that's nothing personal. I'm just an actual like retard. But like, if I can't remember the names of people I like already genuinely like and see all the time, you think I'm going to remember your pronouns? You purple hair fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? I'm not going to remember that. I'm consciously not remembering because I don't like, do we look like we have a lot in common? Why do I need to worry about your fucking pronouns? I don't even like, we're never going to hang out. Fucking weirdo. You know? Why do I need to remember anything? Well, this is my new name and these are my pronouns. Okay. Well, I saw you in a movie like 10 times and your name was Ellen, you know? Like, I've seen, like, you're in movies I like a lot. Like, you're in Inception. Great flick. I've seen it like 10 times. You're in Juno, right? Juno? I'm sorry, but your identity is burned into my brain as Ellen. Okay? So, like, I'm sorry, like, I'm not taking away your right to exist, Elliot Page. I just don't care. Your name's Ellen. Oh, now it's Elliot? Okay. Oh, sorry. You know what I mean? It's like, Jesus, shut up. You're not that important. It's ridiculous. It's hilarious. And it's like, if you guys want to hear my parenting style, this is exactly what I was talking about with Giselle in the car. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get Giselle up here. You can watch me parent. Because I'm like, dude, oh, hey, Malcolm, I did get it, dude. If you're still watching, I got you, bro. I got you. I got your sheath. Gotcha. But it's important enough for me to still be talking about it because it's hilarious, dude. I'm talking about each individual person is not important, you know? You know, when society wants you to change all of these things, it becomes important. You know, it becomes important when it's invading your life. That's my whole point. You know? Let me call Giselle and get her up here. You guys, you know. I only say, hey, Gabrielle, when she is available. Like, she's like way on the other side of the house. She won't. Hey. Hey, you want to come up and talk to people on my live stream about the Frankenstein person you were talking about?
No.
Why not?
Because.
Oh, you're so important.
Yeah.
You turn 10 and all of a sudden you're so important. What exactly are you doing right now?
I'm walking downstairs.
You're what?
I am walking down the stairs.
So you were upstairs and you said no?
Yes.
God, I don't even know you anymore. I don't even know you anymore. Slay. Bye. But yeah, so this is a troll. This guy was trolling. And it's so boss, dude. It is so boss. Dude, I like it. Honestly, this person, if this dude came out right now and was like, yeah, it was me. I did it. Like, I did it. I did that. I put on these huge fake boobs. I put the nips right on them. I used to put them right in the face of our students. And yeah, I did it because fuck the world, man. I quit and then started a Twitter and an Instagram. They would be viral overnight. If that guy has even a little bit of on-camera charisma, he could make more money doing this tomorrow than whatever he's making as a shop teacher. Rich takes MMA. Thank you very much, sir. Huge fan. Inspired my start. Forever thankful, my brother. Keep killing it. I am very happy about that. Congratulations on starting. Just keep on posting, brother. That's a fucking great logo, dude. Excellent work. Tupac Lips. Thank you very much. So let's say women take over the world or just our government. Trust me, men know this is a real consideration. How would we put moles in place to influence these women's future decisions? Use transmit. What? That should be the plot. I mean, I don't think that that's super likely that situation happens, but that'd be a good show. Sounds like the plot of a good show. They're like, God, how are we going to infiltrate these women? And it's like, listen, we just say we're women. It's like, could that work? It's like, yes, just say we're women. I mean, I feel like they're going to know we're not. Listen, dude, you just say it. And that's what it is. It's so great, man. It's so great, dude. Strickland's burner. That is one of your weirder comments, my dude. Yes, I have. And that's one of the most infuriating. It is literally like one of the most infuriating things ever, dude. Infuriating, dude. Infuriating. Like, I mean, real talk, when dude, you have like Americans who just had their homes destroyed, like there's not that many people in that town. There's really not that many. I'll leave this stream up. There are not that many people in this town. Honestly, like if we lived in an actual situation where everybody's vote, like where we were going to decide what to do with our tax dollars, and it was kind of like, hey, what does everybody want to do? If they were like, all right, so here's what it's going to cost to literally relocate every single homeowner in this area, because now their homes are valueless. Their lives are destroyed. So here's what it would cost to relocate them and set them up in a town, 20 miles away. And it was like, yeah, it's going to cost, $750 million. All right, who wants to do that? Everyone would be like, for sure, dude. These people, it's not their fault. They're already low income. And we're going to just do nothing? We're going to let them just stay there and get cancer? Like we're just going to do nothing. That's our plan, is just pretend like it didn't happen. We're just going to do nothing. And then the same week, we're going to send our people over to Ukraine. And then we're going to tell that we're going to give them another $500 million or whatever on top of the $100 billion we've already given them. I mean, listen, dude, if you want an example that demonstrates that the government literally now appears to exist to extract money from the population, and that's basically it, then there you go, dude. There you go. And you got to wonder, dude, I was thinking about this today. You got to wonder if one of the reasons why we're sending so much dough to Ukraine is because Ukraine might be blackmailing people that are in decision-making positions in our country, given that we know for 100% sure that there is significant corruption, documented corruption in the first family over in Ukraine. And so it's like, I just was thinking about that today. I'd never really thought about it because I was like, what if they've got him by the balls? Like, I mean, I do think that the majority of this is coming from the military industrial complex, and they're just like, yeah, just, keep sending it over there. Obviously, there's some huge initiative having to do with Russia's, influence over Europe, having to do with them distributing oil and natural gas into the internal Europe, but which is why we blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, apparently. But I just don't, to be honest, dude, I don't understand enough about geopolitics to know whether Russian influence in Europe would actually end up being genuinely dangerous or bad to the United States' interests, or if we're just talking about billionaires, who are using the American military and tax dollars to fight a war that's just ultimately about their own financial gain. I just honestly don't know. I don't know. I know that if we're going to be sending that much money over there, we better be taking care of those people in Ohio. It's infuriating, dude. It's legit infuriating. That really deeply bothers me, dude. And then, and 45 goes there. I'm not even going to say his name because they'll suppress this, but 45 goes there. He goes and shakes hands, gives them some food, and he goes and he actually is like, hey, guys, listen, someone cares about what's happening here. Now, people could say that's opportunistic. They're like, well, he's just doing it because it's a campaign opportunity. Right. Fine. At least he did it. You know what I mean? At least he did it. And then you get, now afterwards, you get Pete Buttigieg to go there and he's like, oh man, so blah, blah, blah. You're all, what are you going to do, guy? You have an $80 billion budget that you're in charge of. What are you going to do exactly? I don't even it's I don't even want to get into whose fault this is. Cause it's the fault of the entire lobbying, way that we do business in the United States, which is get rid of regulations. And to a certain point, that is beneficial in some ways, but safety in the railroads, in hindsight, clearly should have been a priority that we didn't lobby against because boom, disaster, destroyed an entire town. Anyway, but they are doing a civil whatever. What do you call it? A class action lawsuit. Jesse Fire, you really don't feel any shame for all the oppression you sent Fabia's way? Please take those videos down, slanderer. Let me tell you the truth, my man. There are days where I wake up and I go, there's just something really nagging at me. It's hurting my chest. I can't really put my finger on it. It's like a depression / guilt. And I hear this voice in my head and it's like, think about what you did. Think about what you did to Josh Fabia. And I'm like, no, dude, Fabia was victimizing people. He blackmailed $100,000 out of Diego Sanchez when his career was basically over. He's a bad person. And the voice was like, but did he really deserve what you did? I was like, I think he did. He's like, but do you really know that he did? How do you know it wasn't people slandering him? And I was like, man, I guess I don't. I guess I don't know that. And I thought to myself, I was like, this doesn't sound like the normal voice inside of my head talking to me. And so I took a Q-tip and I went into my ear and I went, roo, roo, roo. And when I pulled it out, Fabia was on the end of the Q-tip. It was him in my ear trying to trick me into thinking I was thinking about him when in reality, he had snuck up my neck and gotten inside of my ear. He is a tiny little ninja. You guys didn't know that was coming, did you? UB. Please tell me this is serious. Please tell me this is serious. Tell me what do you think is the thing I said that was the worst? What's the worst thing I've ever said about Fabia? You know? Like, what do you think the worst thing I ever said was? Hey, yeah, look, like you guys see it, like in the background, it's all. Everyone's screaming, though, he's right behind you. I'm like, man, I used to light Fabia up, dude. They're like, Jesse, behind you. This is obviously too big to be Fabia. You know. Come on, dude. I'm waiting to hear you, UB. What's the worst thing you ever heard me say about him? Come on. Just one example of something that I said that really made you upset. Please. Come on, dude. Come on, give me some material, dude. What's the worst thing I ever said about him? Was it when I went like this? Hi, Joshy. And I spoke to him like the dude in The Shining, like, you know, he's like, just Fabia says, because I thought it would make him more comfortable if someone his own size was speaking to him. So I did this thing. Just Fabia, you really are a really dangerous man. Diego Sanchez was definitely good and smart to be scared of you. Josh. Here we go. You used him as an excuse to attack people with dwarfism, autism, psychology disorders, etc. That's wrong. You know, I'm thinking about that, and I can't remember ever saying anything about attacking people with dwarfism or autism or phacology. Phacology? I actually am not clear on what phacology is. So, if you could actually, can you clarify what's phacology? And what then would be a phacology disorder? But so are you saying that Josh Fabia is an actual dwarf? Because I don't think he is, dude. Does this look like a dwarf? Okay. He's not a dwarf. He's just little. Okay. Now, in this case, this is a not to scale version of Francis Ngannou. But if it was Josh, it would just be his whole body. Hey, you guys. He has to jump to get up to the ceiling or to the camera. Darren, thank you so much, dude. You dork. I finally caught you live. And that to give that to you and call you this live. You know, I'm a big fan. Congrats. Thank you very much, Jerron. Much appreciated, good sir. You caught a good one, dude. You caught a good one. KCM, thank you very much, sir. How do they prevent Ultimate Fighter results leak? Oh, it's in everybody's contract. When you do a television show of any kind like that, where there are results that are part of like the plot, it's in your contract. Like when Gabby and I were on the show, when we got married, that was in our contract. Cause like the show is like, are they going to go through with it? And so we got paid. I can't remember like if we got paid 10. I think we got paid 10. It's either we got paid 10 and 10 or 5 and 5. I think it was 5 and 5. So we got paid $5,000 when we did it. And then we got paid the other 5,000 after it aired on television. And in the contract, like if we said anything on social media or like we posted like with a wedding ring on or anything that gave away the fact that we went through with it, then we would have forfeited the dough. So who wants to hear the dopest thing ever? I do. Now, listen, my life has changed dramatically in the last 2 years as it relates to like the UFC, etc. Right? Like I know a lot of people now that I would just have been like fans of 2 years ago. It's very cool. It doesn't get old. It's awesome. So, getting kind of like, what's the right word? Like, well, I'll just tell you the story. So a lot of you guys know that Mike McDaniel, the coach of the Dolphins, is one of my really, really close friends. And yesterday on the live stream, I was like, someone was like, dude, are you going to the Miami show? And I was like, yeah, we're probably going to go. And I don't know, like somehow it just dawned on me, like right then I was like, dude, McDaniel's in the off season. I wonder if they'd want to go. So at the end of the live stream, I texted him and I was like, dude, you guys want to go to UFC with us? It's April 8th. His wife's with him. They take 2 seconds and he's like, we're in. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. He's like, nah, dude, we're in. And I was like, let's go. He's like, you guys have to stay with us and we'll do yada, yada, yada. We're like, okay, 100% we're in. And I'm like, I'm going to go get us tickets. So I went on to buy us tickets. I looked and then it dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute. Like it's Mike McDaniel. Like he's the head coach of the Dolphins. It's in Miami. I wonder if there's like a call he can make. I'm like, look, dude, believe me. Like if this is a no, don't worry about it. I'll buy the tickets like right now. But you think that there's someone like, I mean, you are the head coach of the fucking Dolphins. Like you think there's someone you could call that could get us like, get us dope tickets? And he's like, well, I only know one UFC fighter. It's Masvidal. So he's like, I'll text him right now. So McDaniel texts Masvidal and literally 5 minutes later, he texted me back. He's like, we got 4 tickets. We're guests of George's that night. And I was like, get out of here. He's like, I'm serious. He's like, we'll get to hang out with him and everything. I'm like, man, I hope he wins. So 5 minutes after that, look at this. I just have to show you this because this is so funny, dude. He texted back. Actually, no, I can't show you that. Bottom line, Dana texted him 5 minutes later, and Dana got us our tickets. So like for the Miami show, we're flying to Miami. We're staying with Mike and Katie, and we're going to UFC. And our tickets are Dana got us our tickets, like for Mike. And I mean, he's the head coach of the Dolphins. Unless this is a world that I don't understand, they're going to put him somewhere where they can put the camera on him, obviously, because it's like, and we got the hometown coach. Boom. So I would imagine we're going to have absolutely ludicrous tickets. And life is who you know, man. Life is who you know. I'm fucking very stoked about this, dude. I am very, very stoked about this. Mr. Fantastic, thank you very much, sir. Psychology is the study of fuckery. Glad you solo. Well, thank you very much for the super chat, good sir. Much, much appreciated. Someone just asked if I was on a diet. No, but yeah, I mean, yes, I've cut a lot of weight actually. So I was when I fought at heavyweight in the tournament that I did, whatever weekend that was, I weighed 202. I weigh 189 right now, or like 189, 192. Like this is what my weight is like. This is my like good weight. When I get above 195, I'm like too heavy. I don't move as well. But I'm not like, honestly, I'm not like doing anything. I'm not like doing anything different or anything. I just like, actually don't really know why it's happening. Less salt. I've been eating less salt. But yeah, dude. I look bigger and I'm 14 pounds lighter. Something like that. But man, I don't get to do my MRI until Wednesday. And then I don't even get to find out what the results of the MRI are until Monday of the following week. So I'm still like 9 or 10 days before I even know what I'm looking at. Drooby Doo, what's up, dog? Cool story about the Ultimate Fighter Team Carwin versus Nelson. I was training with the winner of that season, and I was the first one he told who won. So he said, anyways, I couldn't have been the only one. Well, he definitely was not supposed to tell you, dude. You are definitely not supposed to tell anybody, for sure. But I mean, dude, like if you guys have been to a live show, like I said, I mean, honestly, I think the best entrance that I said this before too, the best entrance I've ever seen live, and I went to a lot of shows, was Masvidal's, dude. Like Masvidal's at 282 when he came in against Colby. The Scarface thing is so sick live, dude. It's so sick. And this one, it's in Miami, dude. It is going to be like that entrance is going to be absolutely out of this world, dude. Man, I hope he wins. I hope he wins. Hang on, I'm reading something. Wait, respect. Respect jiu-jitsu has value, but wait, what? Hold on. Respect jiu-jitsu. It has its value, but not fighting. It's merely a facet of combat. Gordon Ryan is a jiu-jitsu guy, not a fighter. Okay. Okay. Yeah. This is the thing I don't understand. Why do people think that grapplers don't know how to punch things? You know, it's ridiculous. It's like, here's the thing. If someone has trained extensively in stand-up and has no grappling experience, they're going to get exposed really fast. Same thing with striking, but the gap to get at least semi-functional striking is way shorter than grappling. Like you can make yourself a pretty half decent striker pretty quick, dude. Like if you're training 5 days a week for 6 months, doing kickboxing, you took it really serious, like, and then you went out and you sparred against someone, you'd look legit. I mean, if you're like a good athlete and you learn quickly, like you could look really legit. 6 months. Jiu-jitsu, 5 days a week, 6 months, you go against someone who's even half decent, you're going to not look very good. You look okay, but like the striking gap is way, way, way shorter to close. But like Gordon Ryan would destroy anyone who's not an absolutely elite striker. He would. And here's the other thing, dude. This is the thing I don't think people actually grasp when they say this stupid stuff about jiu-jitsu. Is like people think that like getting beat up on the feet is like a bigger ass kicking than like grappling. What you don't understand is that's because in grappling, people tap and they let go. Okay. Like you get punched in the face. It looks really violent, whatever. Like if you're in a street fight against a jiu-jitsu person who really doesn't like you and you're in a street fight, they'll kill you. They just won't let go of their choke and you'll die. Okay. You'll die. Or they will hold you in a place. They'll Kimura your arm and you'll scream, oh my God. And you're going to realize my elbow and shoulder are about to be ripped out of this. He's going to break my elbow and then rip my shoulder out. And you're just going to feel it happen. And there's nothing you can do. You won't be able to move. You will not be able to do anything about it other than just sit and in horror, feel your arm snap in half. Okay. That doesn't sound like a fight to you? Like, doesn't sound like a fight? It's like, yeah, he's not really a fighter. It's like he literally, if you fought him, could disjoint you one by one by one, and or strangle you to death. Like, you know, like obviously a striker could just keep punching you until you died also. But like, you know, like it's not like one versus the other. But this is the point though. You see a person who like, you know, a kickboxer who has no grappling, they're all, that's a fighter, man. That guy's a fighter. I've never heard a person say that about a striker. Like, I mean, he's not really a fighter because he just does striking. It's like, really? But a grappler who literally knows 15 ways to Sunday to break every bone in your body and then strangle you to death. That's not a fighter, though. It's so dumb. It is so dumb. And it is a ludicrous idea to think that just because you see a person grappling and training to grapple, that means they don't know how to strike, because that is definitely not true. Definitely not true. We've got a guy at my school who's a white belt, newer white belt, who is a black belt in Krav Maga. Beat the living fuck out of you, but he's just learning jiu-jitsu. We got another guy who's purple belt, who's a world champion black belt in judo. Now, obviously, he has a lot more transferable skills, and he's one of the best guys in the world. All my teammates are amazing. Brad Strife, thank you very much. $5. I'm going to UFC 285. It'll be my first live event. What can I expect? Love how you do, my man. Thank you so much, man. 285, dude. That's a pricey ticket, good sir. Congratulations. It is what you can expect. This is the best advice I can give you. Don't feel like you're doing something weird by watching the actual fight on the screen. Okay. That's the part that's weird, is when you go to the event the first time, you think that you're supposed to just watch the cage. Like, and you're like, man, if you end up watching the screen, you feel like you're doing something wrong, right? You're not. There are no good seats in the entire auditorium for the most part. Like, there is not a seat in the entire place where you will have a view of what's happening in the cage that is better than what you will see if you're looking at the screen. And so, you know, if they happen to be on the side of the cage that you're really close to, yeah, of course you watch, and it's cool. But you're there just because it's cool that they're right there. But don't feel weird watching the screen, dude. Like, because the screen is always going to have the best view, but the energy in the place is what it's all about, dude. It's like, it's the best thing ever. It is the best thing ever. You're going to love it. Wait, hang on. Is Krav Maga legit? Are you serious? Do you guys not know what that is? Krav Maga is an Israeli martial art that's meant for warfare. It's like for hand-to-hand combat to the death. It's extremely legit. I learned how to be a confident prick, to take no shit, and life is fucked for everyone, and you fight for what you want and work hard, from my shop class teacher, legend. Yeah. But I would push back on prick. Just be confident. You don't need to be a prick. If you're confident, there's no reason to be a prick. Unless someone's a prick to you. You know? But yeah, fight for what you want, for show. Again, this is the stupidest conversation. This is all you can say about jiu-jitsu and street fights. If you are fighting multiple opponents, then putting yourself in a position where you are not mobile would be bad strategy. Simple as that. That's it. Simple as that. If you are fighting against 2 people by yourself, or 3 people with 2 of you, okay, the more opponents that you're potentially squared up against, the more important it's going to be that you can control where you move. Okay? Because if you stand still, then people can descend on you. If you're standing still, people descend on you. If you're moving, they can't get set. And so you can be moving. And the fact that you're in a street fight means that you're not inhibited by ropes or cage or whatever. So if you have good footwork and you're able to, be very aware of your surroundings, then you can keep moving. You can hurt them, then keep moving, and you can put people out of the fight before they have the chance to descend on you. And so any kind of grappling, clinching, anything like that, jiu-jitsu related or not, is not good strategy. Now, do you think that you'd be better off in a street fight if you know a million grappling techniques from a standing position if you're fighting against multiple opponents versus not knowing them? Of course you would. Of course you would. Like you're in a street fight. You can arm drag a guy, trip them while you're moving back, kick them in the face so they're unconscious. And there you go. You just use some jujitsu to protect yourself in a street fight. It's the dumbest conversation ever, dude. If you're in a one-on-one, and if you're in a one-on-one fight with someone in the street, yeah. Hey, come in swinging real heavy against a jiu-jitsu person. See how you do. You better land, dude. You better land something heavy real fast. Because the second that they can touch you, your night is over. Your life might be over. Depends on if they decide to let go. Your life is complete. That's the thing. Your life is completely in their hands. If you are untrained and you have an athletic, like game type of person who has 6 months of serious training, the second that they grab a hold of you, you are in a situation where you're going to survive if they allow you to survive. It's as simple as that. Bingo. This is not there's no way to actually really test that, because there's no way to test that because a person can have a lifetime of jiu-jitsu and another person can have a lifetime of wrestling. And I mean, you could have two equally dominant jiu-jitsu fighters who have the exact same amount of experience and their games can be completely different. One of them can be absolutely incredible off their back. And then you have someone who's a wrestler who has an incredible, equal amount of experience, and what they're great at is scrambling versus putting a bunch of really creative top pressure on a guy. And so it's just a ridiculous question. There's no way to answer that. Let me actually, dude, I think the fights just started, huh? Dude, I got a John Jones documentary coming for you guys. That'll be the first release on my new channel. I'm actually launching 2 new channels. One is actually going to be my podcast. It's going to be like the solo podcast. It's not going to be like MMA stuff. And then I'm doing a documentary channel too, where I'll put all kinds of stuff, but it's going to be dope. Hang on. Where the fuck is this? Didn't the fights just start? Boom. Isn't it 3:30? What are we doing here? Why is it telling me that at 3:30? Why is 3:30 upcoming when it's 3:35? I don't understand what's happening. Of course. I mean, okay, here's another, again, like this is, this conversation is just absurd. But again, just to put it in the most simple terms, if you see two people get in a street fight, unless they actively avoid clinching up, what percentage of the time do people end up wrestling with each other? Unless some guy just sucker punches a guy and starches him, or a guy actually is a really good stand-up fighter and starches a dude fast, almost always. And, I have been watching the Murdoch family murders. Yes. Crazy, dude. That is one of the craziest stories ever. I watched the Netflix thing. It was awesome, dude. It was really good. I highly recommend that to everybody. Dude, I've been watching this show on Netflix that I just popped on the other night just to see if it was good. And it was actually really good, dude. It's like, it's called Red Rose. It's like these teenage, it's weird. Like, I didn't think I was going to like it, but it's actually good. Dude, there we go. Wait, so this should be live. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. Well, that's my cue. I'm going to go watch UFC. I love you guys. Does anybody want to hear one more story about Josh Fabia? You guys want to hear one more? Because I have one. So after all the drama with Fabia, I was actually concerned that he was going to send one of his little minions after me, or one of his big minions. He had some big dudes that followed him around, And so I just started getting the feeling that there was a school of self-awareness person somewhere near me, because I was getting notes at my house. I was getting text messages. The text messages I were getting were actually specifically talking about things like in my front yard, whatever. I mean, they could use Google Earth, who knows, right? But it was so consistent. It was so consistent. And they were so specific that it's like, okay, obviously he's got eyes on my house. It doesn't mean he's here, but whoever's texting me obviously has eyes on my house, dude. So then I started responding, and I started being like, look, guy, I don't know what you're trying to do, if you're trying to scare me, but just so you know, I have an arsenal in my house. I have plenty of loaded firearm in my car at all times. Like, if you try any stupid shit, we're in Texas, and I'll put you down, kid. I'll put you down. And the guy responded, I've already been in your house twice in the last month. And I was like, prove it. And I get a text message photograph of my living room behind our couch with me and Gabrielle watching television. And I'm like, okay, how on earth could he have gotten that? So I went back to figure out what day this was. So I looked at the outfit, and I started going through Gabrielle's stories on Instagram to see what day that picture had been taken. Cause I'm like, so I start going through the pictures. Gabrielle has posted this story that had us in these outfits. So I figured out that it was 2 weeks ago, the previous Saturday. And I'm like, okay, what were we doing that day? Is it possible Giselle took that picture? Someone hacked her phone or what? And so Gabrielle goes into her phone and she looks, she's all, dude, that's the day that Giselle had the play date. And I'm like, who was here? She's like, Jenny, Alexa, and Ava. And I was like, Jenny, Alexa, and Ava. And I was like, oh, these are all 10-year-old girls, right? So I'm like, Gabrielle, do you have pictures from that day? She's like, yes. She pulls up her pictures, and we get this picture that has all our kids and the other two, right? And when we looked close, we realized, okay, something up with something up with Alexis like hair. And as we zoomed in, we realized that Fabia had been posing as a 10-year-old girl for months, had befriended Giselle, had infiltrated my house, had been there 10 times, dressed as a 10-year-old girl, and I never realized that it was Josh Fabia. He threw on a wig, he threw on a dress, and I believed he was a 10-year-old girl. And that's how he got that picture. And that is how scary that little fucker is. If he gets it on for you, there's nothing he won't do to get to you. So that's what it is. I love you guys. Peace.